to bring us to this point where we are celebrating almost 30 years of this democracy. Next year it'll be up to 30 years for the 92 Constitution. And Mr. Rawlings played a big part in it. And it's only befitting that we pay respect to him, not just as a fallen president, but also somebody who was a big part of this country's history.
All right. Lieutenant Nunate, if you look at the whole scenario, so peaceful, so beautiful, because you people are in charge. I say you people, and I tell you, the military in charge. Now you see how orderly the place is, and everything's space, so cameras can even take shots. And I know you people by this time, you're happy that we are in charge of an order. And are you happy that we are seeing what is extremely wonderful and beautiful?
Of course. Because I think it speaks to the professionalism of the service. It speaks to the professionalism of the service, how we work hand in hand, how we contribute to make events come together.
No, let me rudely interrupt you and now announce the arrival of His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. He is now arriving, and he will be accompanied by, he will be here with the wife, Samira Bawumia, to pay their respect to the late President Jerry John Rawlings. So we're now seeing the arrival of His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Alhaji Dr. Bawumia. Kafui, it looks as if you look at the program for today, the President at 9 a.m., and then from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., this is what is going to happen. The President comes in, and just as the President had left, the Vice President had come. It looks as if this is demonstrating quality, demonstrating time.
Yeah, we shouldn't. You see, the sad thing is that we get surprised when things happen on time, which shouldn't be the case. I know circumstances where people are described as, oh, you're not Ghanaian just because you arrived somewhere on time. That should not be the case. It should be normal for things to happen on time. The president was expected to be here at 9, and he was here even before 9. Yeah, it's just a few minutes past 9 o'clock, and everything is going like clockwork. So we can plan. We know what is happening. President and First Lady to come. We now have the Vice President and the Second Lady. We are expecting to see former presidents and their spouses next. So we are just following schedule, and this should be the norm. We shouldn't get excited that things happen on time. Yes, in fact, in some countries like Japan, Germany, people have been known to resign for coming to. In Japan, a train arrived a couple of seconds late, and the CEO of the train company resigned because the train arrived a couple of seconds later.
A typical Ghanaian would say, "This man is not serious.
Yeah,
why do I leave my way? Because the train was late.
Was I the one piloting the train?
No,
that's the kind of question to ask. But you see, sticking to time it shows respect for another person. If you give the person 9 and you get there at 9, it shows respect. So that's the Vice President acknowledging the presence of the family of President Rawlings.
This COVID is giving us a new direction. Now look at Ghanaians. We used to putting our palm in your palm to show affection, and now because of COVID, now everybody is folding his arms, and brother is afraid of brother.
I say the finger snap is now extinct. The Ghanaian finger.
Yes.
Where you
yes,
it's extinct.
It's gone.
I don't know the last time I shook anybody.
And I don't think it's going to come.
We are now Japanese bowing. Yeah, Chinese, we're bowing. Yeah. So it's in and out, and it's the right is going.
Everything is falling according to plan, and we are not spending. They're not spending in any long time in the room, you quickly need to walk out. And because COVID is telling us that when you stay in an enclosed, air-conditioned room, that is where, if you're not very careful, you can transmit COVID in a faster. Now he's leaving, and immediately after he leaves, I know the next person that is going to come will follow him immediately. So Kafi, who is the next? The next person coming in?
Well, according to our schedule.
Yes.
Former presidents and their spouses.
Yes.
Then the spouses of former presidents and their vice presidents. The chief of staff should also be arriving soon after that. Then the secretary to the president. The secretary to the cabinet, heads and former heads of constitutional bodies. Within that space of time.
Exactly.
Then between 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., we should expect to see the speaker, the former speakers, and then the members of parliament.
And then from 11 to 11:30, we're expecting the Chief Justice, former Chief Justices, and Justices of the Supreme Court, followed by former Chairman and former members of the Council of State, and then former Ministers of State. So everything has been, there's an order of precedence that has been determined. And so number one, of course, is the President. And then, his vice, and then the former President. Everything has been determined by the standards of protocol. We are just following it, that's all.
And this is real demonstration of protocol, because if you look at it, I don't think maybe the president, people might be imagining, is the president staying next door to the vice president? So when he's going to say, brother, I'm taking the lead, so brother follows up. But here it's an indication that this is a country, this is a program, this is a planned activity, and so therefore it has been planned in such a way. So we should be expecting to see the next guest come in the next few minutes.
Yeah, and it's also a demonstration of communication, because you've got to have the traffic coordinated in such a way that nobody has to wait. You realize that the police.
Next guest is arriving.
Next guest is arriving. Everything is choreographed. It's like a choreography. Yeah. So people are communicating. Walkie-talkies are chattering left, right, and center. Everybody is coordinating, and it's beautiful.
In military terms, we'll say they've RV'd at a particular point.
Okay.
Meaning they've rendezvoused at a particular point, and then you arrive one after the other.
Indeed.
So, the next person to be we're expecting to see here would have to be former presidents and their spouses. And so, if there's anything, then it means that in order of seniority, then you have to be former president John Ajikun Kufuor, and Miss Teresa Kufuor would have to come. Yes, John Ajikun Kufuor is now ready. I think he's down with his walking stick, majestically taking the strides. And I think in order to get everything done in good stead, I think he's going to use a wheelchair. Yes. So this is telling us that, you see, you can't cheat. Nature is there. You are growing, and you only have to. So in a tradition, they'll say akokora befi. Now look at him, the gentle giant that we used to call now is now in a wheelchair. That is life, and he is not going to pay his last respect. This is an indication of why Kafui, almost all state facilities should be disability friendly. Because if it is not disability friendly, now a former president who cannot have the luxury of walking as he used to walk, now using a wheelchair, whether mechanized or manual, whatever, the fact is that he's using a wheelchair. If he's using a wheelchair and there is no access for this wheelchair, how can he come in and do this that the whole country decided to do? So it looks as if, as a people, we are not only supposed to make sure that the Accra International Conference Center is disability friendly, but every state facility supposed to accommodate persons with disabilities.
Indeed.
But it's very clear that not all the facilities we have in this country could have been used for this activity. Not all the facilities in this country could have been used for this.
Correct.
So those who really selected the Accra International Conference Center looked at this. Looked at this. If we had sent this to Parliament House,
So I don't see any ramps there. So, yeah.
and the gradient in front of the Parliament House,
It's quite steep.
you can't use a wheelchair, because if not so, it means that you have to be manual. Somebody had to push it and hold it, as the way we see our brothers and sisters, disabled brothers and sisters. People hold them. Sometimes they even carry their wheelchairs over a flight of stairs before they drop the wheelchair, and then you access the flat space.
So President Kufuor has finished paying his respects and he's exiting the Accra International Conference Center. It's quite interesting to note that President Kufuor once worked under President Rawlings.
Yes. He was appointed under Rawlings PNDC as a local government secretary.
Exactly.
Local government secretary. So he's come to pay respect to
his former boss, and a colleague president. Former president, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is how.
And the man from whom he took over in 2001. Yeah. So.
And it's so instructive, and you can even see. But then what is missing here is that president came with a wife, vice president came with a wife, but former president, he's supposed to have come with Teresa, but I think because of age or other disease, health conditions, so Madame Teresa is not with former president. And this is what we face in life. And when the situation comes, you accept it and you move. So then it means that the next to come should be former President John Dramani Mahama.
Indeed.
And he would be here with the wife Claudina Mahama, former First Lady. So you know, former President John Agyekum Kufuor was president from 2001, January 7, 2001 to January 7, 2005, and then got a second term from January 7, 2006, and then ended January 1st, 2010. That was when Professor John Evans Atta-Mills, the late Professor John Evans Fifi Atta-Mills, took over as the President of the Republic of Ghana.
So we are waiting for the arrival of former President John Dramani Mahama, who, according to the program, should be following President Kufuor, who just left the premises of the conference center where former President Rawlings is being laid in state. Today is day 3 of the funeral service, and everything will be rounded off in the afternoon with traditional and customary rites scheduled to take place from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Today we will end slightly earlier than we did, God willing, yesterday, and then tomorrow we shall move to day 4, which is the final day. And what do we have, Lieutenant Tay? From 8 o'clock, what is happening?
You have the filing past. This will be done by the family, the Chief of the Defense Staff, and the IGP and heads of other security agencies, the former Chairman of the Council of State, the Chief of Staff, the Chief Justice, the Speaker of Parliament, former President John Agyekum Kufuor and spouse, if possible, former President John Dramani Mahama and spouse, the Vice President of the Republic and the Second Lady, visiting heads of state, the President of the Republic and the First Lady, and then the clergy before the service begins. That should be about 9:10 a.m.
And that is when we're getting closer to seeing the casket of the former president the last time. Then we would now have to admit and accept that we have finished with the funeral ceremony and we have committed his mortal remains to the ground. Then everything now starts from there, and we can now see the late former president is gone to the Maker.
And speaking of tomorrow's rites, we would like to entreat the general public as much as possible if they could watch the ceremony virtually rather than trooping to the Independence Square. We are all reminded that we are not in normal times, so we would like to entreat the general public to take this into consideration. And as mentioned before, the routes that the procession will be taking will be announced again as like they were yesterday, so that if possible you can come out and then bid farewell as the procession passes. Arriving now is the former President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, and his spouse, Madame Lodina Mahama. He's also accompanied by his team and staff.
And so for President Mahama, yes, he was also a Deputy Minister of Communication. Yes, appointed by President Rawlings. Yes, and number 2 to Dr. Akosua Cabra, who we had a chance of interviewing yesterday. Yes.
So former President John Dramani Mahama was the 4th President of the Republic of the 4th Republican Constitution from 2013 to 2017. January 7th, 2013 to January 7th, 2017.
The brother of the former president is also paying his final respects to the late president, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama.
It's a face bump time. COVID face bump. Yeah, some of the bumps are done virtually. Yes, I saw the Honorable Abla Jifa Gomashi doing a virtual one. Yeah. So it's about the bump. Yeah.
That is the former President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, the 4th of the 4th Republican Constitution from 2013 to 2017.
He also qualifies in a strange way as a former vice president as well.
Yes.
Yes, 2 in 1 row, you know.
Two in one row.
Yeah.
As one individual that had really experienced
All the levels, right?
all the levels. Has experienced all the levels.
looking forward to tomorrow because looking at the program of activities covering tomorrow, there's going to be a riderless horse that will be part of the procession. President Rawlings was an avid horse rider. He loved the outdoors, and so there's going to be a horse that is going to be part of the procession without a rider.
Without a rider, and I think it's only our people who can do this one. It's a military, it's a military program, and so far as the man was an officer, and the military had planned it, and so therefore we know. And they will tell you that you dare go wrong. So whoever is supposed to be in charge of this riderless horse would have to make sure that this horse behaves, and he would do it.
Obeys instructions, eh?
Yeah.
There will be a handler for it.
Definitely, yes, yeah.
And it's symbolic of his love for riding, and then it's also symbolic of the fact that I'll say it's a symbolic horse.
Yes.
That's why it's riderless.
Yes, because the rider is passed.
The rider has passed. So the riding boots will be turned to face backwards to depict or show that the rider is no more. Yes, so the riding helmet, the riding jacket, the riding crop, all the riding accoutrements will also be placed in the saddle as the horse travels along. So viewers, as we have mentioned now, when you see the riderless horse in the procession tomorrow, this is what it means.
So now we're seeing the next to come in would be the spouses of former presidents. Yes, spouses of former presidents. This is chief of staff. This is chief of staff. Yeah, so that's the chief of staff, Honorable Frema Osayofara. She is now she is next to pay her respect. It's after the chief of staff that we now move into the spouses of.
So that's the chief of staff doing a tour, filing past the body. After the chief of staff, then we should be expecting to see the secretary to the president,
Secretary to the President, and that would be Nana Asante Bediatu. That's the Secretary to the President, Nana Asante Bidintu.